Hello everyone and welcome to Cincinnati, Ohio and the StarCityGames.com Open Series. Return to Ravnica has debuted and I'm here with Joe Bernal.
Hello.
Joe is playing Black-Red Zombies in the main event here. Black-Red Zombies obviously is a deck that was pretty successful in the last format. So did you figure it'd be kind of easy to carry it in, make some upgrades, some tweaks?
Yeah, I mean, the deck was really good in the last format. I never played it, but I mean, I lost to it a lot, so. But yeah, there was a lot of cards that really. The main one that I liked is Rakdos Cackler.
Okay.
That guy was just. They printed another like 2-power 1-drops, so definitely wanted to play this deck. When you have 12 2-power 1-drops, you have a really good aggro deck just right off the bat. And like, there's just so much good burn in this format too. Geralf's Messenger is basically a burn spell. Brimstone Volley is a lava axe for 3 mana. Searing Spear is really good, and then Bump in the Night.
Bump in the Night. So we've obviously all, I imagine, seen or at least heard of the Bump in the Night Innistrad deck.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just draft a bunch of Bump in the Nights to kill your opponent. So this deck, obviously you can't play more than 4. The Innistrad draft decks had that on you. But you're stuck with 4. How are they working out for you so far in the deck?
I mean, they're great. Some decks just like can't beat the burn. You can get in, 4 to 6 damage with your creatures, and it's really easy when you're playing with 12 2-power 1-drops and Geralf's Messenger, and then you really have a large burn range in this deck. 5 with Brimstone Volley, 3 with Bump in the Night, 3 with Searing Spear, and you can flash back a Bump in the Night if you get flooded. It's really, really strong. You get to win games that you probably have no business winning with your creatures just by your burn spells. So,
has the ability to flash it back when you flood been like pretty important?
I mean, in testing, I played against like an infinite amount of Thragtusk decks, and like this card really helps like to mitigate that damage or the life gain that thing gains. And like, you have such a high damage output. If people are just playing Thragtusks, it's not enough. So yeah, like the ability to flash it back has definitely been relevant. Like, I really like the card a lot. So
excellent. I noticed that in addition to the Dragonspell Summits and Blood Crypts that I imagine everyone's going to be playing in these kind of decks, you're also playing Rakdos Guildgate.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been wondering if the Guildgates are good enough, especially in aggressive decks. Mm-hmm. So clearly you came down on the side of good enough? Oh
yeah, I want good mana. Like, I want my mana to be very, very good. And I mean, it's a tap land, so that sucks. But a lot of hands you get are like 2 lands with a Guildgate. Like, it's like not good, but you can still like play a 1-drop, then untap, play a 1-drop, and play a Guildgate. And it doesn't really interfere with your game plan. Like, that's another bonus of having all the 1-drops. And like Bump in the Night being a burn spell too, like for 1 mana. So I really like the Guildgate. It sucks, but you have to have the mana, and like it casts Geralf's Messenger and lets you play. How many red spells am I actually playing in this deck? So it's very, very good.
It does let you play a lot more red mana than I think most of the traditional Zombies builds have run.
Yeah.
So let's move over to your sideboard, because it's got a lot more Return to Ravnica.
Yeah.
You have Dreadbore, which I think we're not that surprised to see. Everyone's kind of calling out Jace and some other Planeswalkers to be like high impact, and you've got your Dreadbores. Kills whatever you want, pretty much.
Yeah, I really wanted to just kill creatures, like big, dumb green creatures.
Oh,
like
the big.
Yeah, that's what I want to kill. It's just like Tristani and like Angel of Serenity, like anything like that. Any big, dumb green thing, I want to be able to just kill for 2 mana. The Planeswalkers really aren't that good against this deck. You have a bunch of 1-drops. They're just...
Fair enough. You've also got Rakdos, Lord of Riots.
Yeah, that guy's good.
Mythic 4-drop with 6 power over here.
Yeah.
Where are we bringing in Rakdos, and why did we consider main decking him?
No, never considered main decking him. Okay. He's actually terrible versus most decks. But in any, like, again with like the big dumb green creature deck with like infinite Thragtusks and stuff, like they can't beat this card. They can't beat a 6/6 flying trampler. They're just like when they're playing Thragtusk and you play Rakdos, like that's it. The game just ends. Like, they don't have a lot of removal, like if any. Most of the decks I was playing against just didn't have any removal. They just had a ton of different creatures like Restoration Angel and like Infinite Thragtusk, Tristani, and you really need a trump, and Rakdos does it. You want your 4-drops against those decks, so that's why we have this sweet mountain to try and cast more of our 4-drops.
All right. In addition to these cards, you have a nice anti-control card in Underworld Connections.
Yeah.
I know you just got paired against a Grixis control deck in round 1, actually, and crushed him on the back of Underworld Connections, it seemed.
I just had like a pretty mediocre hand with a 1-drop and like 2 swamps, and I just played this thing on like turn 4, and it just didn't matter because you just draw a bunch of cards and they can't really race you, so you just get to draw your burn spells and kill them.
It also turns on Bump of the Night's Flashback like every game, I imagine.
Oh yeah.
So then you're just really trying to eliminate 2/3 of the opponent's life total, since one Bump of the Night will do the rest all by itself.
And again, like this deck, it's really not hard to do like 8 damage with this deck, and then your burn spells pick it up. Like Dralf's Messenger is good for so much damage, just tons. And they're like all the game plan. Like I noticed like all the blue deck's game plan is just to pillar and like Annihilating Fire, and then just, like just remove all your creatures from the game. But like if you're just gonna do like a hit here, he dies, comes into play, that's 2 damage, a Blood Artist, you're just going to get in enough damage to be able to burn him out.
Sure, you just extract value from a one-time use of the creature, treating it like a burn spell in and of itself.
Right. Okay. So you're really just like mono red sliding them at that point, just like really getting only a little bit of damage out of the creatures, and then and that's where Bump is like the best, is getting 6 damage out of 1 card is incredible. Just so much reach in this deck.
It's a bargain.
Yeah.
One more card I want to talk about, Sever the Bloodline. It's an Innistrad card I think a lot of people have picked to kind of like come out of its shell this weekend, especially with just the absence of the decks that punish it the most, mostly Mana Leak decks, obviously.
Yeah.
So what archetypes are you bringing Sever the Bloodline in against?
I really just wanted it in there for like any kind of token deck, or like again like big green creatures. I really didn't.
Really don't like those green creatures.
Well, that's the thing. It's like there's. I really like my matchup versus like everything except for like a deck with like Tristani and Thragtusk and Centaur Healer and all these like ridiculous hate cards for zombies. So I really wanted to be prepared for like that deck. I feel like the mirror is just gonna be like a dice roll. Like I have main deck pillars and stuff. So and hopefully they're all playing green and they're taking way more damage than I am. So you just bump them out. But like against the green decks, it's actually like the only grindy matchup you have. So you really want like more finishers, hard removal, and an extra land I brought in, but to cast my big guys. But yeah, Sever's like really good versus their deck, like just having multiple Thragtusk tokens and just being another hard removal spell.
Okay.
So.
Do you bring it in against the Entreat the Angels archetypes, or are you worried about?
No, I just want to kill them.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to like piddle around with any of that stuff. I just want to burn them out.
All right, that makes sense to me. Well, Joe, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Good luck in the tournament.
Thank you.